Right, if you're listening to us right now, you have joined us in the dual topic episodes for what was this week's episode of 10 o'clock. This episode's topic is the DevStream 153.
Nice.
Yeah,
so let's get on and talk about that DevStream.
Right, okay, cool. So Thalian's giving me very big comprehensive notes again. I love you, Thalian. Right. So Easter update. So the Easter update is coming this week as of the release of 10 o'clock. I probably shouldn't have read that out loud. In time for Easter weekend. This is the annual mini event that brings with it temporary cosmetics like the Spring Step ephemera and bunny ears cosmetic headgear. While these are temporary, they usually only cost about 1 credit to unlock for the limited time, and there is an opportunity to purchase the Easter color palette, which is permanent.
April is apparently going to be exciting. I do know on this, they actually brought up how people keep asking, can we have these Easter ears be permanent? And they said, no, we don't want to. And I love the 2 reasons they gave to it. It's like, 1, it makes them special when they turn up. Yes! Having silly cosmetics is fine, but if they're limited in the window, they're just for that period. And it's cool when they turn up, because each go, oh, now I can put the bunny ears on. Now I can put the mustachio on. Now the Christmas stuff's all bloody permanent. I don't know why, but it makes it special when it comes back.
The decorations aren't permanent though.
The ability to buy them isn't permanent, but they last forever if you have them.
As long as you don't turn them off.
Yeah, exactly.
If you turn them off, you can't get them back.
But still, it was brilliant they said that, and I wish they'd kept that policy throughout, because then it's special when these things turn up, and it feels special, instead of like, I can get my bloody candy cane out permanently, and my Jingle Bell Knuckles. It's just silly. Just silly. But anyway, that's cool. Exciting Easter. Next point.
Right.
Ooh.
2 graphs were shown at the beginning of the stream.
The first graph was apparently not exciting, because it didn't have enough lines, and then the second one was more exciting, because it had more lines. I thought they were both exciting graphs. Graphs or graphs? Graphs.
Right. The first was a simple showing of that over time, only around 60% of that having started the Protea Deadlock Protocol quest have actually finished it. DE are looking into making the quest a little easier to complete in the future. The second graph, hold on, really? Like,
I'm surprised by this.
Are really people having that much of a problem with the Protea quest?
Apparently.
I wonder what they may have said, but I wonder when people sort of like give up on the quest.
I thought the graph showed an increase, like they changed something, and after that point, it was now easier.
No, it did get better, but still, like, I don't think it's 100%.
No, it wasn't great. Yeah.
Maybe it's because like people just won't go back to it or anything like that. Right. So the second graph was shown to illustrate the changes in usage of battle avionics after the Railjack update. It showed that the tether avionic has quickly dropped to 4th place usage from being the standout leader for nearly a year. This is obviously thanks to the nerf in its function that now changes it to a pure tether and not a wide area damage pool. The new lead in the usage is the Seeker Volley, although not by much as tether led before, which is more available thanks to the new energy system for Railjack. While the next used are Shatterburst, the AoE damage over time function, and Blackout Pulse, nobody used or now uses Phoenix Blaze despite the buff.
Very interesting to watch, because the graph has, like, when they did the update, and after the update, there's a small upsurge in almost everything, because obviously everyone was seeing what works now, and then most of the things go back to literally the null value almost of never used. But this time 3 came out of it, at least slightly used. Now, something gets me though is that if they have that kind of data, it's clear that in that window, everyone tried them out and saw that only one of them was the best again and whatever. Why don't we get a week-on-week little changes to the ones at the bottom? Here's what I expect you to happen now, right? there won't be another change or buff to this until maybe Tempestrati comes out, and then we won't see another one after that for a year. I don't get why we can't have small week-to-week iterations on PC to test, hey, let's push this bigger, let's push this number higher this time, see what people think. Or even just for 1 month. But instead, it's the same thing with the focus system. I bet you could pull the same graph out of the focus system, and they should do, let's say the start of a month, so that people get time to change it and see if it's good or not. Here's a set of changes. We're going to reassess them in the month. That should be every month instead of once a year. I
honestly don't know, because I feel that there is such a huge anti-push towards change.
But only because people aren't used to it. If people expected an update at the start of the month that might play around, and obviously don't just nerf the good ones, maybe just small buffs on the weaker ones, and maybe they'll see a little bit of an uptake. So that graph literally has like almost all but 3 of them. You could tie them in a little knot at the bottom. Even if they were gaining 5 or 10% compared to the other massive ones, that's fine. That's fine. They'd have niche uses. That's what you want to at least give them, niche uses. Whereas now they're clearly just forgotten.
Things like House Serration is just permanently in everyone's mods loadouts.
And that's a slightly different issue, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a slightly different issue. But yeah, no, you have a fair point. I think as long as they're small increment changes.
Well, the update's been out for what, 2 weeks now, basically?
Yeah.
And that graph is already cemented, and it would only probably, if you give it more time, is only just going to push in that direction more. That as more people discover Seeker Volley, that will just slowly ramp up higher and higher now. So the data is almost complete on that. 2 weeks of testing done. Let's do some adjustments. And do another 2 weeks.
The thing for me is making sure that the changes are subtle enough and flexible enough for the player base, because it's hard for me to say, because to me it's like, they've changed this, I don't like it anymore, I'm going to use this other thing. You can easily do that within Warframe, but older style games, the worst offender for this was Diablo 2, when Blizzard would change how certain abilities worked within their cookie cutter build style talent tree system. You had to start your character from scratch.
Okay, that's a unique situation, though. Yeah, that's not how.
No. But my point is that I just hope that the players realize that. Oh yeah, okay, well I'll just swap it.
Yeah.
Instead of, but we do see a lot of tantrums on.
But again, if it was, let's say, first week of the month is the week where the changes appear, everyone will know this is where things will change, and people will get used to it. It's only now people, I think, have gotten too used to the fact that things only change once a year. That's why change is seen as bad, because they get so long goes by with them getting used to a thing being like that. They don't understand that it could change. Normally we get one update a year on a lot of things, if maybe even longer. Let's say focus. Anyway, let's move on to the next point.
Cool. Yep. All right. Next point. Call of Tempestari is coming in April. Woo! The update brings with it all the previous Railjack changes from 29.10 to consoles, including the update to the Xbox Series X, it's SX and SS, meaning the next gen Xbox consoles has finally passed cert on the game. The Call of the Tempestari quest for Sevagoth is the headliner for the update, and the promised content even includes a new villain.
I don't think they used the word villain. I think they used antagonist.
They're not talking about Vala, are they?
I think they are.
Was Vala supposed to be a new villain?
I don't know, but see, that's the thing you're saying. Aliens wrote the word villain. Okay, I don't think they even used the word villain.
I thought they just said Vala was a new character, like a really prominent character.
I think they also said they were going to show a bit of a teaser about the new antagonist of the quest, and then they showed the trailer for the thing, and it was just Vala.
Oh, okay.
I see the thing is, I'm just guessing, purely guessing. Yeah. I imagine, because they said there's going to be a story and a reason behind why this corporate ship led by her is looking for it. And it could be like it was her family, like great-grandfather, she's looking for a history of it. But it'll come down to, first we'll be helping her, but then it'll turn out that she'll turn against us, but not really because I'll kill Tenno, but because she wants to save the ship for herself for her own reasons. Something like that, where it's not a bit morally grey.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like an antagonist.
Exactly. Well, no, they are the antagonist of the story, but they are not the villain. That makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Continuing on, Rebecca explained that Sevagoth's quest is going to be the way we acquire his Plex card.
Is it the Plex or Prex?
Prex. There is actually an R.
Oh.
The quest means that the frame is not having a Levarian entry, as the time invested on the story that would usually go into the Levarian has instead gone is used for the quest. So the Prex card will drop from the quest itself. Sevagoth's alt helm was shown off as well. Unfortunately, this is not in any way aircraft carrier themed.
I see you, Thalion. See you.
Thank you, Thalion.
I see you. No, bad Thalion.
No, because I said that it's normal. It's
like
Sevagoth's normal head is the aircraft carrier.
Watching you.
Right. The 8th year anniversary content drop is coming in April as well. Exact dates to follow. This will bring with it all the previously released Dex gear, the 3 weapons, Excalibur skin, Lisette skin, the Syandana, all to drop from alerts. The new cosmetic of the year is Rhino Dex.
I do think I missed one of the... Because you can get the weapons again and again every year. I do think I missed one year, but I can add to my collection. Woo.
That may have been the year you were focusing on your PhD.
Probably.
Yeah, all right. Mirage Deluxe work in progress sculpt was shown off. They actually believe that this is going to be included with the Call of Tempestari and will come with its own deluxe animations if the animators don't die of overwork. Right? Cool. So going into the main QA portion, and
oh yes,
per your request, right, Thalion has tried to capture the questions right that were asked before the explanations. So
cool.
The question: are we ever going to be able to have a single squad simulation simultaneously run the railjack and on the ship missions? Right, so basically, is there going to be this divergence? Scott explained why we're not going to have that, and they're not planning to implement it. Simultaneous instances of railjack and the running of defense, exterminate, volatile missions. It comes down to the AI spawning, where it's currently impossible to run both on the current engine because the game is not built to be able to sustain a consistent spawn rate of the different teams. For example, if the railjack decides to jump into the point of interest, they may cause multiple enemies to spawn there and slow the rate of spawns in the defense mission to a crawl, or cause no fighters to spawn in the railjack mission portion. The engine currently can't handle it, and this is something that we've spoken about. How right now you're in an environment which is a Grineer asteroid cannon thing. I don't know where the feck you are right now in the footage, but the point is, like, there's no enemies around you. There's absolutely none, right?
Yeah.
The game does better now
because I've had to go a few of the missions. So you go and you do your railjack stuff, and then you have to park your railjack, and the mission begins when everyone enters the Corpus ship, doesn't it?
Not just that. If the majority of people are in the Corpus, the airlock for the capital ship, it will bring everyone to the capital ship.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm not saying everyone's got in the airlock, but I assume that's because then when everyone goes and does that portion, the game can focus on providing you a better experience in that ship now, because it doesn't have to worry about spawning and wasting AI on railjack ships flying around, and so then you get a good experience of that, but you've got no one on the railjack, so it is kind of a shame, but that's cool. Maybe it's time for Warframe 2. Build it from the ground up. Well, see, that would be a good reason for it. That kind of thing, expanding the engine or making it do something different like that, if needed.
One thing really interesting, like Thalion really highlighted this to me, and I thought this, like, holy shit, he's right. So before he joined our clan, he used to be part of a clan that did like loads of endurance runs and things like this, and his clan worked out that typically there's only ever like 30 enemies in the environment at any one point in time. So when you kill one, another one is instantly spawned somewhere else. Right. So you think you're actually engaging, I don't know what, hundreds of enemies at any one time, but realistically, you're actually just engaging the same 30 again and again and again. Right. So if you've got a nullifier in that pool of enemies, then when you kill, you'll only ever have one nullifier at a time.
Right.
Yeah, does that make sense?
You can have multiple nullifiers.
Yeah, it can grow and change over the course, but it's typically just from a pool of 30. So like, I don't know, wave 20 of a defense, it will swap out some of the enemies from the pool, but it will only be a small subset pool. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, I think actually the way defenses work is it has let's say a set box of enemies, but what you're saying is it will only pull 30 at a time from the box and onto the board.
Yes.
Right.
But it will always be those same 30.
Maybe for the endless missions, but I've not like defense. Yeah. That's not how defense works, because defense has a limited pool, I think, per wave.
No. But as soon as you kill one, right? So say that the wave is like 100 enemies, right? Not all 100 will be spawned at the same time.
No, yes,
right?
Yeah.
So you only get the 30, and then it will just cycle through them. Yeah. Yeah. So it won't say like, oh yeah, we have to go we have to go through 5 nullifiers for no. It's just you got to kill X many things.
I think defense actually I think the way defense works is it actually has X many of unit per thing, because there was talk years ago about affecting the way the wave works, so that later in each defense wave the bigger units would turn up and things like that. I don't think defense works like that. Survival though, yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. I will take your word for it, Tyler.
I remember that was years ago and years ago.
No, I mean, like, I can totally believe that. Right. So let's move on to, unless you have anything else.
No. Let's move on.
Cool. Right. Ooh. Are you ever going to remove the overheated penalty from rank 10 of the gunnery intrinsic? Scott wants to keep it for now. The drawback of obtaining the rank 10 of gunnery, because he believes that the benefit of the rank 10 auto aim, the benefit of rank 10 is auto aim and needs to be balanced in some way. So he thinks the increased overheat speed for the weapon is currently a good balance.
Do I read the editor's note?
Yeah, go for it.
For reference, the reason many people want this drawback removed is that with the new rank 9 introducing the ability to reload overheated weapons in 0.5 seconds, the overheat penalty is purely a nerf to the magazine size on the guns. On PC at least, the auto-aim function is completely unnecessary, although on console this may be a much bigger function for players to earn. On one hand, PC privilege is very clear. On the other, grinding to rank 10 takes a long time, and having a drawback on what should be the top rank seems rather short-sighted. It should be a buff. You can turn on and off. Because to be honest, right, though I haven't jumped on some railjack guns in a while, the one thing that just really annoys me about railjack guns is overheat. I think they should have just no heat mechanic.
That really depends on which guns you have.
Yeah, I know, but with this, it means that all the guns will overheat. The overheat mechanic is I don't know, maybe there should be a mini game to flush coolant and things, or you should get so many coolant charges or something, because it just goes, you almost don't want to shoot because you're sitting there going, oh yeah, play with the heat bar, shoot once, wait, shoot once, wait, shoot once, wait. I hate it.
I think your avionics should really... Not avionics, sorry. Your plexus, your harness, your personal railjack mods. I really think that they should have a huge influence on the playstyle of how you engage with railjack. Like, no. Like, really emphasizes one playstyle. Like, I'm going to be the pilot, so give me mods that are just about maneuvering. Yeah. Like, increase the turning speed of the railjack, increase the blink distance of the railjack. So yeah, I could still take the weapon mods, right? or I could really heavily focus on the piloting mods, or vice versa. Give me mods that are for mainly gunnery. Yeah. So, it decrease the.
I think, have you looked at the mods?
I've looked at a chunk of them. I honestly don't know how many mods there are.
Turret damage, I do believe is a mod. So
yeah, no, turret damage is a mod, right? But why isn't there a cooldown reduction mod for overheat for the side gun or the ventral and dorsal gun?
Oh, maybe for different guns. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll add more mods. You're saying you want lots of more niche mods that are strong, but only for one role.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe even literally dorsal turret heat cooldowns. That only work for one turret.
Dorsal or ventral. Right.
Yeah. But literally it meant you could only use that on one turret, so it's really specific. Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Because again, you could have a mod which is like, only use 10% of the Revelite, right? But the thing is, you have to choose, do I want to run around and deal with the repair?
Yeah, so you get, let's say, reduces Revelite usage by 90%, reduces turret damage by 90%.
Sure. Yeah, I'm 100% down for that.
Right. Yeah. So trade-offs and things.
Sound?
Yeah, it sounds cool.
How does that sound? Yeah.
Options, I love options. Yeah.
Right. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Can we use the forward artillery while piloting? They're thinking about it, allowing the AI to operate the forward artillery while you are solo, but not thinking that the pilot should be able to operate the forward artillery from the pilot seat. 100% do not give the forward artillery to the pilot seat, because otherwise the pilot, everyone will just want to pilot. They won't need to leave their seat.
But how do solo players blow up cruise ships?
Well, they park their railjack,
right?
Like a team does right now. They park their railjack, they get out, they jump into the big cannon, and they shoot the big cannon.
Right.
The problem right now,
in that time, the cruise ship repaired its engines and moved out of view. You then have to get out of that gun to go back onto the thing.
That's really quick repair.
Could be, harder missions. Right. Maybe you didn't take all the engines.
The big problem right now, which is not covered here, is the fact that when the pilot gets out of the solo player gets out of the pilot seat, gets in the main cannon, one of the crewmen will jump into the pilot seat and then move the fucking railjack.
Yeah.
Right? That's the biggest problem right now.
Yeah.
And I'm totally on board for getting the AI to deal with the big cannon instead.
Again, why can't the solo-only player have an option to ask? But basically, it is giving the solo player control of the gun, but only by signaling to the NPC to shoot the gun. And it's only on the solo player. I don't get why. Maybe it can't be done, but just the solo player has the option to do that.
I think it should be done. I think basically what you should do is, I've never actually tried this. Can you use the marker button to actually while you're piloting? Because if you could, use mark that ship right now, blow it up.
Yeah, maybe that's what you. Yeah, add it in as a signal thing on the operator panel or whatever, the operations panel. And that way, I'd like that ship blown up. And that way it actually can work for people when you've got a team of 4 with friends, and then people know to shoot the gun, but it'll also be a hook for them to hook the NPC's AI in to go, I'll shoot the gun now.
Yeah.
Because if you do have NPCs, do they ever shoot that gun?
No,
I assume they never shoot that gun. Yeah, exactly. So add an emote, which is someone shoot the main cannon, and that'll actually allow them to hook that in for the NPC. But also, players when they've got friends would be able to just yell that and be like, "No, no."
Right.
All of these are not issues from WoW because it's just bugs still. I mean, they've done a whole year's worth of effort, and you just can't. I just can't rank up above rank 2 gunnery. I don't know what it is.
You promised you weren't going to pull that shit anymore.
Well, I was going to. Yeah, but I also said we should make a thing of it. But so
I thought you were going to turn around and say, "Yeah, but then my PC exploded, so that doesn't count."
I tried, and it blew up my PC. Clearly bugged. Good one.
The last week's arbiters we actually made a joke of it. Like, basically, you're faking the fact that your machine's broken, so you don't have to get in.
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to watch this episode now.
Right. Okay. What rewards are being looked at for the new Railjack system to keep it more on par with the rest of the game? Sheldon discussed the topic of more evergreen rewards for the new Railjack content, and apparently the decision is being delayed until new void storms are being implemented with the Call of Tempestari. It's also something that may be addressed in the Corpus Lich system, or when that's released, with the new weapons in the same vein as the Kuva weapons, to provide re-grind incentive. At the very least, the Void Storms. At the very least, with the Void Storms, you'll be able to use Railjack missions to crack relics, meaning that you can accomplish more than the base game's goals within Railjack.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, so they're gonna be adding more of these things in. I'm really looking forward to the ability to do relics, because that is whoever in the meeting, there must have been a meeting somewhere where someone said, hey, why don't we be able to do this? Such a good call, that way you can just, because, you know, people are obviously always running relics, always trying to do it. It's one of the major things of the game. So being able to move that to Railjack, and to be honest, I think it should be more efficient than the normal version of doing it. I'm sorry, it just needs to be. It will cement Railjack as being an important function of the game.
I completely concur.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is that Railjack missions are... I was talking to Michelle about this in the Framecast episode this week, or last week, technically. To me, the majority of Warframe's missions, they feel like a bite-sized sandwich meal kind of thing. But with the Railjack missions, they feel more like a full, hearty supper meal kind of thing. They're really big, heavy, packed full of content. And I don't want to run too many in a single go. And so to cement what you're saying, because I don't want to keep running the Railjack missions constantly, I would very much be on board for the whole, you know, make it so that the void relics, the cracking the relics, is so much better in Railjack. Yeah.
Yeah, it would also give you more goals to aim for, which I think that might be finally the capstone in Railjack being I'm going to still say completed base product. I still think it's got more to grow, but like it will be the final part of the pie to make it a complete package. Still need sprinkles.
Right, okay. Can liches be more than just defenders, allies on the Railjack? A quick mention was made about allowing liches to be more than just the defender type crew on the on-call if you have the rank 9 in the command intrinsics. The major limitation of liches is that their model is very, very different from that of the Warframe and the NPC crew. So animations and custom harness position. Right. So I imagine that's like the skeleton rigging sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Positions would have to be made to fit the different models. They're working on it.
So the Lich is, because the Lich is a modular system which has different attachments all over the place. So it would just go jank when it's trying to do functions that the normal models. Just, you know, for most models in Warframe, it's just a 2-part thing: the body and then the head. That's it. So it's literally one object, 2 object. And so, you know, anything that they interact with, it's only got one model to deal with. I imagine the liches are made of 8, 9 different components. So how would that all jank together, you know?
I'm a little confused by this, because they want I don't know what the on-call thing does, but
I don't know either, because I don't have that one ranked up much. I haven't had a chance to look at that.
I mean, what's so difficult about...
I'm guessing, and I apologize, because people are like, God, I don't know anything. God. But I'm sorry, I've been leveling my other ones. I've leveled it to 5 and went, right, yeah, that's enough for now. I'll come back to it, but I'm going to guess, because I haven't looked at it, and I don't remember off the top of my head, is that it allows you to put people to do different jobs, because they can only be put to defender. They can't do piloting. I don't think they can do... Yeah, I mean, piloting is going to be the big one, because piloting, it's got to be in the rig like this. And you probably can't assign it to be on call to jump into the pilot seat, because it goes, no, I'm just going to stand here and be a defender.
Right. Good shout.
It's going to stand there and go, wait, it's going to stand there and go, I don't see any crew pods smashing in, no one to kill, I'm just going to do nothing.
So, place the on-call crew gear item in the player's inventory to summon one assigned crew member to appear in the non-railjack mission for up to 3 minutes. His has infinite uses with a 10-minute cooldown. The crew member assigned to be on the on-call must be actively assigned in a railjack role to be not on standby to become... Yeah, okay.
And the only role you can put them in is defender, which I assume must be for defending the ship, not for... I assume the other ones must be like piloting and things.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting.
That's kind of cool. I want to level up to that now. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Cool. Yeah. Oh, they're going to fix it. It's just an oversight. It's going to be cool. Yeah, move on. Let's move on.
I think mine's 7 or 8. I can't remember.
Oh, McSpender. I know my piloting's 10. Yeah.
my piloting's 10 as well.
Yeah.
My engineering's 0. I just haven't done it.
Oh, no. Mine's, I think, I 10 for piloting, 5 for gunnery. No, sorry, 2 for gunnery, 5 for engineering, and 5 for, what's the last? 5 for command, and 5 for... What am I missing? What's the first one?
Tactical.
Tactical, 5 on tactical.
I think I've
been lazy.
7, 10, 7, 0, 7. I think. Not sure. Anyway, moving on.
We're going to be playing more, though, because I'm looking forward.
Yeah. It's so much better, right?
We don't get distracted by Vikings and mining to get that copper.
Right. Will we ever be able to equip different guns all right, to the 2 different gunnery positions, so ventral and dorsal? Scott explained that when they got around to the further updates, players will be able to equip different guns for multiple positions, and that the forward artillery position will also have access to regular gun turrets, so that the player is not useless while manning that station.
Yeah, I've always felt that position was so overstated that literally you go down there just to shoot the big gun.
Yeah.
Like, surely that should have just been combined with one of the turrets.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. But yeah. I'm like, do we need 3 guns? Do we need 3 turrets? I mean, there's only 4 players.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just fuse that into one of the turrets.
Yeah. Are we ever going to get more updates to operators to make them more integrated with the game? After all, we're our operators, not our warframes. On the topic of operators...
Just want to change something. Yep. Maybe it would have been cool if one of the turrets shot the main gun and the other turret was like the defensive turret that had a defensive version of a super weapon.
Oh, what? Like you put up a shield barrier?
Yeah, sort of like it has, but it takes charges like the main gun takes charges. So it has to, like, it's got an ammo for that. They could run off the same ammo.
But I one thing I will say is that ammo, right? It should only deplete when it's being hit.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right. So, like, you know, you could turn on the shield and then it can. So, God, what's the Corpus cruise ships? I don't know if you've encountered them at higher levels, but at higher levels, they actually have this shield that covers their rear and it moves around. It actually follows you to get in between, and it's really, really cool. But there's a little bit of delay, so you can try and shoot out that shield.
Hey, why can't the defensive turret have that shield? That sounds
exactly
cool.
So you could actually just go like, oh, yep, gonna cover that side, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
you know, and there could be something that, you know, maybe there's a mod that for both of them, the shield side and the turret side, where if you're shooting, if the say it's on the dorsal shield, so the dorsal turret has the shield, the ventral turret has the cannon, right? If you fire the turret of the ventral side through the shield of the dorsal side, right, it does more damage.
Whoa.
So the two of could you just like
a vault shield, yeah,
kind of like a vault shield, but it doesn't work for the turret of the dorsal side. Yeah, so the dorsal doesn't have that huge buff by itself. It has to be a collaboration thing.
Yeah, no. What yeah, no, yeah. Well, you mean shooting the main cannon, not the normal guns, yeah, through the shield?
No, I mean shooting the normal guns.
Nah, let's just make it shoot the main gun.
The main cannon just shoots everything. It just destroys anything anyway.
But my one worry is then you're slaving the defense turret to the offensive turret, and so the offensive turret will be like, just follow me around. I want to shoot that. Follow me around, shoot that. Why are you not following me around? I want my damage buff.
You could say it the other way as well.
Why?
Well, the defense shield is like, okay, I'm protecting us from that big thing over there. Shoot that big thing over there. Why aren't you shooting that big thing over there?
Oh, so you mean as the offensive turret shoots through the defense turret, that then gives the damage buff to the defense turret as well?
Could do that as well, yeah.
Weird. Maybe, I don't know. But I think just, first of all, just take that, get rid of that main gun turret.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just...
Cool. So let's now go back to what we're talking about. Are we ever going to get more updates to operators to make them more integrated with the game? After all, we're our operators, not our warframes. On the topic of operators, whether they're going to be updated again to become more an integral part of the game. Steve made another one of his hint reactions. This may mean that the new war update also features changes to the operators or more integration between operators and Warframe gameplay, but they all seem to be like close-lipped. So we've done
Third
this.
dimension. Only operators.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously. Like the problem is, like, you're trying to get everything in one space to compete with each other. You know what? Oh God, seriously, please, for the love of God! Like, I don't know if anyone is hearing this. Give us another plane of existence for our operators to interact with.
For operator combat, for designed operator combat, which the Warframe cannot access. Someone has to go in the operator to do that. That then has effects on the normal world. That way, it gives the operators their niche. It affects the main gameplay. You can, if you want, try it for some situations, just try and ignore that phase of existence. But then it's going to make your normal play harder. Obviously, tailor it for single player, solo, whatever. Japs, that's not, but it allows the operators to exist in a way where they're competing against enemies, and there's not just somebody behind who's like, yes, you could use that operator amp, but I have a whip.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's dead. Oh, well, that's nice, little shiny tenor person. Now teleport me over there.
and this is why I feel like this is the problem that exists already with Warframes and Necromax, right? Right now, the only
sorry, I want to change that from whip to I have nunchucks. I have a fan.
Oh God, no, the fan's better.
I have a spoon. The Chev is a spoon. My spoon is more deadly than your crazy psionic weapon. Sorry,
I have a can opener. Right.
More deadly.
Right. But right now, I feel that this is a problem between Necromax and Warframes, right? It will only get compounded worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you add in operators as well.
Well, yeah, but now with this update, Necromax are now in that pool of, right, you're in a situation, you've got these many enemies, how do you deal with it? Operators are on that list. Arc gun is on that list. Your normal primary, secondary melee is on that list. Your Warframe is on that list. And now the Necromech is on that list of available options.
I really feel
too many.
I really feel that needs to be a change in maybe like Armor 2.0 or some shit like this, where Necromax, right? Shots from Necromax do damage based on the armor. So there could be like runners and things. Yeah, you could kill them with a Necromech, but not as effectively as with a Warframe. But if you have, introduce bigger, nasty, like, the Juggernaut, right? What happens if Juggernaut is more susceptible to damage from a Necromech, right? Later on, when you get to higher levels of freaking Juggernauts and you have to spend days trying to kill the damn thing, right? Just pop your Necromech, blast the thing to shit.
Yeah.
I really think that we've said that, make the necromechs feel like a tank or things like that, and we've had negative reaction towards this. Why not just change the enemies then, so that there's different armor types, and that, well, I mean, there already is, but they're susceptible to damage from different things.
Well, the tricky thing is, though, and the fall you in, you then have to give a reason why at those stages the necromech isn't. This is what you should do. That there are enemies that are not weak to the necromechs. You have to use the warframe to have its niche in the combat field. So the tank should deal with the tank targets, but then the infantry are coming, and your necromech should not be as efficient at dealing with that as your can opener.
But I feel that maybe there's enemies that are susceptible to both sides of it.
Yes, that's how it should be if it was balanced. There'd be yeah.
So it's a spectrum, and I think that, I mean, fucking hell, just bullshit an answer to why this is the thing. But the important things about operators, though, give us that third plane of combat.
Well, that's the only thing I think we're doing it is then add an area of play which literally only the operator can reach, because that's what it needs. The operator needs something that feels substantial. It's the operator. Necromechs are cool, and Necromechs kind of have fighting sentience as their thing, and now they have a special mission type as well, which has come back, which is cool. But what operators never had that. They had fighting eidolons, and that was it.
I think also just to point out that the operator, or multiple operators, should only really be fighting like maybe one enemy at a time in this plane of existence.
Right?
Yeah,
oh yeah, but they'd be like multifaceted with like different bits with limbs opening up and things like that. And and that would then each section, or they knock on a section off. They don't kill the whole thing; they just knock a section off. But then that affects the normal world, where like the enemies become not invincible anymore, or they get debuffed or something, or an area of damage disappears or something.
If you want to make it a lore thing, right, why not have it that these are constructs, Orokin constructs,
neural sentries.
Ballas, that Ballas is, when you can say that, but Ballas is deploying to fuck with and the only way to get to them is
into the
with
void.
Your operator.
Into the void.
He's basically shoved them into void pockets.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
Or that from the... I see, this is the question of how does the void work? It's not really clear. Is it a sector that you can only enter here into subspace, or is it subspace everywhere? So there is a void version of every point. So you'd either have it that he deploys the neural operator to that point, let's say on Earth, to mess with you, or you have it that in the void they're then channeling energy to that point on Earth. But either way, you enter the void to fight them. It then affects the normal world.
My suspicion is it's the latter.
Yes, yeah. Then that would be a good way of making it work. Yeah, but that would be so cool. And seeing as we've got all this stuff with Railjack and operating in multiple areas, it should be able to be done.
Yep. Right. Should we move on to the next part?
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Just like
maybe to get into Void, you need like 2 operators to like shoot across the beams, open a portal. Across the beam. Sorry, I'm talking across the beams.
But I like that, but problem, multiple players are required for that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you can have like a special one for solo players. They have a different... That's fine, you can go up the lore thing of like that they carry an item which isn't actually expended, but it can only sustain one player in exposition sort of thing.
Sure.
Too much load with multiple people. Is Scarlet Spear ever coming back?
Yeah, okay, cool. Scarlet Spear. Right, the devs discuss Scarlet Spear and the potential of bringing it back. Sheldon thinks that with some updates to the tech and the methods that were used in the event, he would be happy to bring it back, which the others and the stream chat agreed with. So Scarlet Spear, tweaked and adjusted to be less janky, is likely to return.
They did make a fair point of how I think that was their first update from working from home. When Scarlet Spear was released.
Yes.
And so obviously there was issues with jank because they were still... I mean, if they did it now, like if they had to release Scarlet Spear, I imagine they'd be better because they're now streamlined to workflow from home. Whereas this was, we don't really appreciate that. If there was going to be disruption when you are now working from home and trying to make the same product, that was when it was going to be the big issue.
Yeah.
Whereas now they could probably deal with it better.
I think
you think?
I feel that Scarlet Spear can come back, but the biggest crux of the whole situation, with what's the name of the damn thing? Squad Link, is making sure that it can exist in this big faceted group dynamic situation, but it also needs to exist in God, a small one-to-one situation as well. Does that make sense? No. Okay, fine. So right now they have one centralized they will have a server that is communicating amongst the different squads.
What you're saying is just optimize it, make it better, yeah?
No, not just that.
It's fine. I don't think you really need to explain it. Just make it better for what situation? Solo players, did you say?
No. Just 2 squads.
Cool. Okay. Right. Fine. That's fine. That's fine. That would be a goal, right? You don't need to go too much into it because it's Scarlet Spear is a whole can of worms, isn't it? So yeah. So make it better when it's working with low squad capacity. That'd be a thing to do.
Because the big thing is, then you could have just regular missions do squad link stuff.
That'd be the dream.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Cool.
So I didn't want you to. I could see you were going to explain this completely, but we shall move on.
I know. Right. At the end of the Q&A, Rebecca finished up the stream by showing off the teaser for the Call of Tempestari that leads on to the next update, the Corpus Queen pins. The video only featured the mostly stational preview of the character called Vala, the captain of the Corpus vessel that is seeking to the Tempestari, and included a short preview of the song for the quest. Please note that the phrase "seeking the Tempestari" appears to confirm that the Tempestari is the ghost ship of the Warframe universe, similar to the myths of the Flying Dutchman that they mentioned in the previous DevStream.
Can I just say, because this is the thing, when they announced Corpus Queen pins, it's like all female Corpus, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And now they're like, named female Corpus character. And I'm like, finally! I've been wanting for this for years. We have been really wanting for this because they got a Killer de Therm for the Grineer years and years ago. And obviously it's cool the Corpus have all these proxies, but it's like, you're looking at it like, and there were so many cool concepts people were putting on the forums. I remember years ago we showed them of female Corpus bosses or villains or characters to put in. And it's like, no. Oh, what's that? Frodbeck? No. What's that? What's the new dude called? I forget the new dude's name.
Pavel Scranum.
It's like, okay, I could see what you're getting at, but can we have a female one? It'd be cool.
Can we have a lady?
Corpus lady. It's cool.
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit concerned though, because I feel that the Avala will end up becoming a unique faction, similar to Steel Meridian.
That's fine.
I
know what you mean. Don't. Yeah, I feel she'd be kind of like Maru, quite niche and quite small, right? But I'm going to take the win for what it is. I'm happy we've got it, right? Maybe in the future, I would like to see more because I think I just think it'd be interesting, even if it's something of just like Davo's mum or something. I think it'd be funny. I see what you mean. Yeah, I want to take it as a good first start, but we'd like to see more. Yeah, named characters. I think it's really cool. I just think it's interesting because you can see the whole way of most of the. I don't mean to be anything, but the male Corpus. They're all like money hungry in different ways. They run the but I suppose. Granum was a bit different, but I just think it'd be funny. I just think it'd be not funny, and it could be funny. It could be cool. It could be interesting. We wanted it for years, so it's great to finally see it, and I'm going to take that as the win.
Right. So I think we're done with
that.
This
is topic, our overview of the last Warframe dev stream, I do believe.
Cool. So if you're listening to this on the individual episode, thank you very much for listening. If you want to listen to the next episode, the topic, it'll be out tomorrow. Or if you want to listen to the full podcast, you can go check it out in the cards or in the description, the link in the description below. It's great listening to, hearing from you. Please
I want to point out there are timestamps on the podcast, so if you want to skip directly to the next topic, now that you've just finished this, which you can just click the link on the podcast and go straight to where you want to be.
Yep. In addition, there are platinum giveaways that you can find in the main topic. There's lots more if you want to go check out the full thing. Otherwise, we will see you for tomorrow.
And if you would like to, please like and subscribe on this video if you want to make sure you catch up on more topics from us.
Yeah, they should totally have done that.
They should, totally.
But, right. Okay, cool.